Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Freedom of Speech on the Dime with your girl, Pleasure Time. Now, today we are going to be talking about our topic. Children are not weapons. When love ends, but the war begins. So, our scripture references today are going to be coming from the book of Psalms 127 and 3 KJV, and it reads, Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. Reward. Okay? Our supporting text for that is Matthew 18 and 6 KJV. But whosoever shall offend one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him that a milestone were hung or hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. Mm, that's Jesus, though. Let's talk. Okay, so some of the greatest damage done to children is not done by strangers. Unfortunately, it is done by parents, not because they don't love their children, but because they hate each other more than they love peace, or they feel they want to antagonize or get up. It really makes no difference how you look at it because it's still a form of hate. If you despise someone, you know, if you can't stand someone, all of those are sitting there knocking on the door of hate. You're just one situation, you're literally just one situation away from busting that door of hate wide open. Okay, so somewhere between the hookup, the breakup, the divorce, the child support hearing, the new boyfriend, the new girlfriend, and the phone calls, the hurt feelings, the bruised pride. The child stopped being the blessing and became the battlefield. The child became the messenger. The child became the spy. The child became the bargaining chip. The child became the evidence. The child became the weapon. And the saddest part is the child never signed up for any of that. Okay? So this may shock some people. Truly, I know. A child has two parents. Not one, two. The child was not created, by some type of immaculate conception. The child wasn't delivered by Amazon Prime, wasn't assembled in IKEA. Two people participated in bringing that child into the world most of the time. So, here we speak for you, people who do artificial insemination or, God forbid, rape. We're going to think about all of those things because all of these things happen, okay? So we're not talking about those particular, ways of them coming. We're talking about the agreeable one. Two of you participated in an act of sex, and now we have a child. Yet somewhere along the way, one parent often just starts acting like they're the sole owner of what God entrusted to both. Okay? The child is not a car. The child is not a house. The child is not property. The child belonged to God and was entrusted to both parents. Okay? So parents think that their child don't notice or their children don't notice. They notice everything. Didn't you notice? You act like you were never a child. You notice. You sit back and think about things in your childhood right now and claim and lie that you would never do the same things to your own. And some of you don't, but some of you do worse. So they notice when their parents roll their eyes. every time the other name is mentioned. They notice when the phone call becomes interrogation. They notice when one parent says, "What did your daddy do?" Or "Who was at your mama's house?" Or "Who came over?" Or "Why were they wearing that?" Or "Why you got that on them?" Or "Why are they doing that?" The child came for visitation, not a federal investigation. Yet some parents have turned every exchange into an interrogation room. You know, the child becomes nervous. The child becomes anxious. The child learns that love comes with conditions. The child learns that honesty causes conflict. The child learns to tell each parent what they want to hear. Okay? And then years later, everybody wonders why the child struggles with trust. Okay? Now, let me say something that might make a lot of you feel uncomfortable. If your child is with their other parent and you're tracking their every moment, their every stop, their every turn, every restaurant, gas station, park, every minute of the day, who is really struggling here? Because if the court agrees and your own decision, say that the parent is capable of taking care of the child, then why are you spending your day acting like a private investigator? Some people know where their ex is every hour of the day, but can't tell you the last chapter they read in the Bible. Some people know the location updates, but but can't tell that their child is struggling emotionally or that their child is sick. Okay? So we become experts on surveillance and beginners at trust. Here's another thing. Some parents only want the other parent when it's a convenience. You only want that person to be a parent when it's convenient for you. So when the child is acting up, it's come get your child or come get your daughter, come get your son, and the child gets suspended. Now it's your child is out of control, and you should take them. And but if that parent asks for additional time any other time, your response is not your weekend or is not your time. So how did the child become your child? When they misbehave, they become the other parent's child. So, I mean, how does that work? A child should not be treated like a hot potato, tossed back and forth whenever life becomes inconvenient. So let's talk about something that people don't like discussing because children are priceless, but somehow along the way, society started pulling price tags on parenting. So we're going to go ahead and address because what's best for the child became what can I get? Now, some people get offended. There are absolutely parents who refuse to provide for their children. This message is not about them. This message is about those who use the system not to help the child, but to punish the parent. There is a difference. Because once the goal became revenge, the child lost every time. Okay? One of the strangest things you'll ever see is somebody who claims they moved on, but spends all day monitoring somebody else that they're supposed to have left behind. New relationship, new house, new life, new partner, but still worried about their ex dating, still worried about who's visiting their house, still worried about who liked a picture or why you not answering the phone. At some point, you got to decide, did you move on? Or did you relocate your bitterness? Because both cannot occupy the same space forever. Okay? So while everybody is fighting, guess who's growing up? The children. The children are learning what marriage looks like, what relationships look like, what parenting is supposed to be like. They're learning what conflict looks like, what forgiveness looks like, what family looks like. And many are being taught that relationships are control, revenge, manipulation, and power. Then we wonder why they repeat the cycle. We plant in the seeds. Now you want to be surprised by the heart. Ephesians 4:31 and 32. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you. Notice how bitter made the list? Bitterness made the list because bitterness doesn't stay where it started. Bitterness spreads like a parasite, like cancer. It poisons conversation. It poisons co-parenting. It poisons homes. And eventually, it poisons the child. The solution isn't pretending hurt never happened. The solution isn't pretending betrayal never happened. The solution isn't pretending that the divorce didn't hurt, the breakup didn't hurt, but the solution is maturity. The solution is putting the child ahead of your pride. The solution is learning that every disagreement doesn't require a courtroom. The solution is learning that every inconvenience doesn't require police involvement. The solution is learning that every conversation doesn't require an argument or name calling. The solution is remembering that the child is watching, the child is learning, the child is becoming. And one day the child will tell the story of what they saw. The question is, what story are we giving them to tell? Children are not leverage. Children are not revenge. Children are not trophies. Children are not bargaining chips. Children are not weapons. They are a gift from God. And every parent who truly loves their child should ask themselves one question. Am I helping my child heal? Or am I teaching my child how to continue the war? Because one day we will answer not only for how we treated others, but for how we taught the little ones who were watching. And God has taken that very seriously. So, if this has touched you, you know somebody in these situations, you doing this stuff yourself, woe to you. Don't let your name be a warning, okay? Children are not leverage. Don't say that you're not going to put your children, that you should never put your children where they feel that they have to decide between their mom and their dad. If you say that a community is what the Bible says, a community help build a child, raise the child. Okay? So if we're looking for the community, why would you strip the child from their godparents? And why would you take them away from their uncles, their grandparents? Hmm? You want to know who around your kids and stuff, but you don't go meet their teachers. You send them off blindly to school. You don't know who those people are. You don't trust your baby mama or your baby daddy, does it? What did that say about you when you had a child with them? And then for you want to say that and you've had multiple children by them, I don't think they're the one who needs a psyche eval. Sounds like you're the one who needs a psyche eval if you don't trust them, yet you continue to have children with them. That sounds like a you problem. You can't be mad at people because they're friends with people that you don't like. Once again, that's a you problem. Because you're not talking to someone doesn't mean that everyone has to stop talking to them. Once again, a you problem. People don't have to let you know their every move. Children are not leverage. What else do you guys have to threaten people with once you take the children out? I honestly want to know, would any of you even have conversations with each other if the children weren't even involved? Like, would you care that much about that ex still if children weren't involved? But that's that part I mean by taking yourself out of it. That will really show you that you're not in it for a child. You've been doing selfish things on your own. Because if you've moved on, you could care less what that other person is doing as long as they're not causing any harm to the child, right? Because that's all that matters is the child. But I think a lot of you've forgotten. Some of you so tied up in the same broken system that was built to destroy homes. You run to it thinking that, well, you know it ain't gonna fix it because you see it. It takes you going to court takes time away from you just like it does that person, unless you just one of them lazy moms or lazy men who are sitting on the couch collecting the checks, not doing no work. So remember that those are seeds that you're sowing. So until next time, share with a friend, check on someone. Remember, it takes two to make a child. And even the people who were artificially inseminated, they had to use someone's sperm. It still took two. They didn't do it on their own. Children are a blessing. Not everyone gets to have kids. That's what you guys fail to realize. Well, let me also be very clear with you. Having a child does not make you a mother. Having a child does not make you a father. Put in work first. So until next time, love each other. Check on someone. I love you. I love you too. Till next time. Bye bye. Bye bye.